Hi, folks, and welcome here to Hornet Studios. I'm Caleb Rose, joined alongside by Austin Coash for tonight's varsity men's matchup between the Conway Springs Cardinals and your Valley Center Hornets. And the Hornets playing their first game of the season, and they are definitely ready to go. They have been waiting for this for quite a while, as they are one of the last teams to play their first game in 5A. Starting it off here for the Conway Springs Cardinals. That's going to be number 2, Kyler Alloway. And we saw a good game from him last year against the Hornets. And starting off here for the Hornets is Mason Burns, and he is a really hard worker and a great leader for this team. Next up for the Cardinals, number 4, Peyton Winter, a senior. Next up, Marion Pons for the Hornets. And he is quick, he is elusive, and an incredible driver for this Hornets. He definitely has a lot of talent to offer for this team. Next up for the Cardinals, number 21, Joshua Kuster. And next up, the spot-up shooter rarely ever misses, number 10, Jacob Byrne. And rounding off this roster, number 23, Heath Hilger. And rounding off this roster for the Hornets at 6'8", 6'10", it's got it. Gabe Phillips, number 20. Rounding off this roster now is number 40, Colin Keister. And now rounding off this lineup for the Hornets, 6'9", senior Braden Gray. Moved here last year from Andover Central and has a lot of skill to offer from the paint.
So it looks like we're gonna see two players that with the same, that I would believe are brother or sister of Kuster, Emily Kuster Kara Kuster from the last game we just saw, and that is number 21 Joshua Kuster and number 40 Colin Kuster for Conway Springs. The Hornets have a lot to offer this year. They got a great team athletically. They're offensively. They have some shooters. Burn. One thing to note, Eli Isaacs is out tonight, or not out. He's not starting tonight because he's been battling sickness all week long. Today was his first day back at school even. So good to see him at least suiting up tonight. Who knows how much he'll get to play, as he's over there dancing on the sideline, so he seems a little fine. But tonight gets to start. Mason Burns, number 3, a senior. Talked about his energy, enthusiasm, his ability to create charges on defense. The defense this year for the Hornets is going to be their strong suit, and they're really priding themselves on this man defense that Coach Unruh has implemented this year. They're starting out in it. They're talking. A good man defense has a lot of communication. That's one thing I know we mentioned in the winter warm-up. And then the other thing to mention is Braden Gray just looks like a monster out there because we have Braden Gray, and another one is Josh Dessenberger. We have, I believe, the 2 tallest kids in our entire league, the ABCTL Division II, and we're going to refer to them as the Twin Towers this year, Caleb. This is going to be a fun one to see. They are just big, massive players, and the Hornets are going to have to use them to their advantage.
Definitely, height is one of the advantages of the Hornets. Playing in the paint right now, that's number 40, Colin Kuster, and he's standing at 6 foot. Every single one of these starters for the Hornets is as tall, if not taller, than him on this floor, and that's huge to see because obviously height gives you quite an advantage in basketball. Out to the corner and back into Gray. Kick out for Gabe Phillips, and he'll just be off the mark on the 3. Conway Springs takes over.
One player I do want to talk about is number 20, Gabe Phillips. He's a junior. He had a breakout he's looking to have a breakout season this year, as last year he got not as much playing time as a sophomore, but this year, man, he's looking to go out all in. He already shot a 3. It was off the mark. That's going to be his first shot of the year. That's fine. Put it behind him, and I think he's going to have a great year offensively and defensively for the Hornets. And, you know, he's also a very strong physical player, too. Caleb, what do you got?
Well, not only is Phillips naturally talented, but I love the work ethic, the intensity he brings to practice every day. It's rarely matched. Every day after practice, he's putting up shots consistently. He always brings the highest energy to this team, and he's always going to work hard. He's not going to be a guy that you see slacking off. He's always going to bring energy to practice, and that's great to see. He's a team player, but also has a lot of talent to offer as well.
Then we got to talk about number 4, Marion Pons. He's running the high-low in the center right now. He's just a very athletically gifted kid, and he's going to be big on the defensive and offensive end this year for the Hornets. Braden Gray underneath gets fouled. He's going to the line, shooting 2 for the Hornets at the scores table is number 2, Eli Isaacs. An area of weakness last year for Gray was his free throws, and this year it looks like he's already changed his form up a little bit, and he's at the line. He made his first free throw of the year. That one off the mark. Pons talked about his athleticism, goes up, grabs the rebound over the Cardinals, and Isaacs, who just checks in, makes an immediate impact, gets the ball. He's going to the line, shooting 2 for the Hornets.
Well, forget sickness. Eli Isaacs is coming out, and he's going to play with a fire. He is ready to get on this court, and that has been clear since this team has got to the bench, and he's ready to go. He's already playing aggressive, and that's huge to see. This is the first one. Second shot is up, no good. Pons grabs another rebound, and with his vertical, he's going to be a vital rebounder for the Hornets. Long shot from Byrne. It's off the mark and rolls out of bounds. Call in favor of the Cardinals.
And that's number 33, Josh Dessenberger, the other player that is just towering over these guys. Number 33, he'll be a player to watch offensively and defensively. Isaacs and Phillips putting on pressure. That's inside, no good. Pons with another rebound. He already has 3 or 4 rebounds early in this game. Isaacs gets his shot blocked. Ball tipped around inside, no good on the easy attempt by Dessenberger. It looked like he didn't have his feet underneath him. That's Pons down the floor, but he'll foul Conway Springs. And that was one of those fouls that, you know, he's playing good defense, but just leaned in too much, got a little too aggressive. That was Marion Pons.
Well, I think if Coach Unruh has a favorite foul that you can take, it would definitely be a charge. It just completely changes the momentum of the game, and so he takes pride and he makes sure that his players take charges. And with those charges, a lot of times you have to take blocks in order to get those charges and get those momentum-shifting fouls.
Hornets haven't been able to hit too many shots early going, and that's Phillips on the inside. That goes in and out, so Hornets are missing shots left and right, but they're playing solid defense. That's what you want to see. They're only giving up. The only point they've given up, they had a little bit of a miscommunication. But another thing to talk about is Eli Isaacs. He already has a steal, and he broke the season record for Valley Center last year with steals in a season, and he's going to be looking to have he has those long, lengthy arms. So that's going to be good to see. As he goes to the bench, that's number 22, Ray Flora, coming in. For another senior with outstanding work ethic, and he's going to make an impact on and off the floor this year for the Hornets. That's Byrne who got the ball stolen. Running the floor are the Cardinals, but great defense by Phillips and Flora to get back, stop the transition offense. Byrne playing good over the top defense. No good on the shot. You can hear Unruh yelling, push it. Ray down the floor. Inside, Ray Flora for 3. Knocks it down. His first shot of the season goes in. That's an early 2-point lead for the Hornets.
Well, Coach Unruh calls that play the easiest assist you can find right there, and it really showed it. It was an easy pass from Phillips to Flora, and then Flora just grabbed that three. Great steal there by Marion Pons, and gets it to Gabe Phillips, so they'll get the bucket, and Conway Springs will be forced to take a timeout. 6-2 here. Early in this game, 2:58 remaining in the first quarter. What have you seen, Austin?
Well, so far, an immediate impact on the game has been number 4, Marion Pons. Not because of his ability to score, but he does all the dirty work right now for the Hornets. He's getting rebounds, he's getting steals, he's going out for balls. And another thing I like to see from a player is he went over there when Eli Isaacs got knocked down. He was the first one over there to help him back up. That's just the work ethic that Pons has. And, you know, he's growing as a player. Last year, I believe, he played JV and then didn't stick with it for the rest of the year. So this year, he's getting his chance on varsity, and so far, he's really proving why he's here. Isaacs wanted to steal right there, but out guarding the perimeter is 6'7" Josh Dessenberger, and he's doing a great job. That'll be another foul called on Pons. That's his second personal. Looks like Phillips is going to check in at the scores table for him. And it'll be Cardinal ball underneath their own basket.
Well, I see Al Horford do this a lot for the Celtics, and I expect to see a lot more of it out with Jonathan Wright, number 42, who's spreading the floor right now. But as the big man, when you're playing man-to-man defense, if you can get your big man outside of the paint, if you can play 5 spread, if you can play 5 guys around the arc, that opens up a lot more lanes to drive if you don't have a big man there to get help on the drive. So certainly expect to see Conway Springs to do that a lot because of their lack of height. They don't have as much height, so it's going to be more of a struggle to drive, especially against a guy like Braden Gray or Josh Dessenberger. So spreading out that center can prevent that post help on the defense. Easy shot there, baseline inbounds, and Mason Burns grabs the bucket.
Good pressure from the Hornets. And that's Burns in the corner. Phillips tipped that ball up, but I don't think he realized where that went. And a 3 in the corner, good by the Cardinals. So this man defense playing hard, but this one thing is if one person gets lost, there could be an open player that can hit a shot. Good ball movement around the arc from the Hornets. Over in the corner is Burns. Flora for 3, another one off the mark. And they're going to get a charge. Mason Burns with great defense. That's what his brother did when he was here. And now Mason Burns picking up that tradition from the Burns family. As Isaacs will head to the bench. Jacob Byrne. One thing to note, it's number 3, Mason Burns, and number 10, Jacob Byrne. I'll do my best to try to enunciate that this year. Byrne, good for 3. 45 seconds left. Hornets hit a couple threes so far tonight. Ball tipped in the air. Stays with the Cardinals.
And you're talking about Jacob Byrne, and he is a good basketball player, but the thing he brings to the court most is his three-point shooting ability. He can knock down shots at a rate nobody else on this team can, and that's just huge for this team. He has a couple set plays just for him, just to open up the three-point shot opportunity for him.
That was Phillips who missed the 3, but it was an open 3, so you can't be mad at that shot. And a wild circus shot from number 2, Alloway. Burns from the corner, no good. And to end the first quarter, your Hornets score 11-7. Your Hornets up on top of the Conway Springs Cardinals. In that first quarter, you saw some good things, especially from the defensive side of things. Offensively, a lot of missed shots, but those will start to fall later on in the game, later on in the season. Things will start to click for the Hornets offensively, especially with keeping the good defense at where it's at. Caleb, what do you see from that first quarter?
Well, I like how they're coming out and they're playing intense. And I knew they were going to come out and play with aggressiveness, but they're using that aggressiveness to their advantage. They're playing good quality basketball rather than just playing straight out aggressive. And also I like how they're spreading the floor. We saw in the girls' game, Cooster had 29 of the 41 points. And there's not much you can do as a team when you're being carried by one person, but they're spreading out the floor. And not one guy has more than 2 baskets, so they're spreading out their floor. They're making sure everyone's getting touches on the ball and spreading out the floor, moving the ball around. And if they can keep this up this season, there's one thing Coach Unrau said is that they were too predictable last year. And defenses knew exactly what to see from them. So if they continue to move the ball around, they will be less predictable, and it'll be easier to score this season.
Yeah, and if we're talking about the season right now, you got to realize how stacked this league that the Hornets will be playing in is. The ABCTL Division II has a crazy amount of talent this year, and the Hornets, this is the team that can compete with these teams. As Byrne misses his second 3 on the night, goes over the top, and it'll be Cardinals underneath their own basket. Some light pressure, but the Conway Springs knows how to beat it. That's number 22 inside, and a jumper by number 5, Robinson. So the Hornets struggling to make shots. One thing we mentioned in the girls' game that really was the epitome of last year's team was they were not able to play 4 quarters of good basketball. And that's going to have to change for this year, as already in the second quarter they haven't scored, and the Conway Springs Cardinals have scored 4 points, 2 buckets early in this first minute or so. Hornets trying to open up a play. Jacob Byrne for 3, off the mark. Good rebound underneath. Isaacs over to Pons. Pons, crazy layup, doesn't go in. And creating extra opportunities is Braden Gray in the paint for the Hornets. He'll be going to the line shooting 2.
First shot is up and no good. Still a tied ball game here at 11. Substituting in here is number 4. That's Peyton Winter. And second shot is up. It's through. It gives your Hornets a 1-point lead. And into the game, Josh Dessenberger and Mason Burns in for Braden Gray and Eli Isaacs. So Conway Springs takes over after the made free throw. Excuse me.
That's Schulte and Alloway trying to break the press, and Byrne tips it up in the air. Alloway comes up with it. And the Cardinals looking to set up their offense. The Hornets are just running around crazy. Open shot, no good. Rebounded by Pons. Pushing it up the floor is Phillips. And the ball will get stolen from him. Hornets may want to slow things down when they retain possession, as they haven't scored more than 1 point, and it was off a free throw in this second quarter. Rebounded underneath by Byrne, and that'll be a foul called on number 22, Osner. Pons to Byrne, and Byrne hits the second 3 of the night. I believe he's 2 for 4, and You know, if he can pick up some heat from behind the three-point line, he's not going to stop, and he's going to rack up the points. A back cut by Schulte, no good, and Osner and Pons fight for it. Possession arrow stays with the Cardinals. Checking in for the Hornets is number 22, Flora, and then checking in for the Cardinals is number 42, Jonathan Wright.
Well, I love the defense the Hornets played there. They saw the baseline cut, and they knew exactly what was coming, and they were completely ready for it. Forced a really tough layup, and when you know what's coming on the defensive side, it's pretty easy to defend.
That's Schulte out to Alloway. He's going to set up the offense. Good defense there from Byrne. And that'll be a foul call on number 33, Dessenberger, as he tried to just reach over and tap the ball, but it looks like he got the head of Schulte, and Schulte did a great job to sell it. That's the first personal on Dessenberger. Schulte's first, no good. Checking in for the Hornets is number 5, Braden Dalrymple, as Pons will head to the bench. And then for the Cardinals, number 5, Robinson. Short on the free throw, and Phillips will push it up the floor. That's Floor who tried to get it into Dessenberger. He'll go up with it. No good on his first attempt, but he'll tap it back in. That's the beauty of having the height he does, is he's able to get his own rebound, tap it back in. 17-11 our score. Great defense right here from the Hornets, putting on the pressure as the Cardinals beat it. Inside, great way to stay strong in the paint is Dessenberger. And the Hornets can't even let me catch my breath as they're pushing the ball up as quick as they can. That's number 2, Eli Isaacs, as Phillips goes to the bench. Isaacs will throw the ball in underneath their own basket. That's one thing Coach Unruh had mentioned to me multiple times when talking about this team, is he wants the intensity to be as high as he's ever had it here as coaching here in Valley Center. Good ball movement by the Hornets inside. Dessenberger gets the lay it to go. Hornets playing great offensively and defensively. They're staying strong. That's a steal right there. And Byrne will be up top. And a great baseline drive by Flora. Checking in at the scores table for the Cardinals is number 2, Alloway, and number 3, Billups.
Flora with his first. Shot is up, and it rinks around the rim. It's through. So it'll extend the lead to 9 at 22-11. And Flora's second is good, putting up his 5th point of the night. Checking in here is Gabe Phillips in for Ray Flora. And so Conway Springs takes over.
One thing I love from this Hornets team is a lot of different players have scored tonight, and if some players haven't scored, they've been able to make an impact some way or another. And they're going to call a backcourt on that, which it looked like it was more of a foul than a backcourt violation. But so Caleb just told me 6 players have scored tonight for the Hornets, making up 21 points. That's pretty good. If you can have an even amount of playing from each player, and that is a recipe for success. That's number 2, Alloway, who drains that one from deep. Up top is Isaacs over to Phillips. No pass from Dalrymple, and Byrne couldn't handle it. Under 3 to play in this first half. Phillips for 3, no good. Another rebound, and Hornets pushing up the floor fast. Phillips gonna be called for a charge as he forces elbow out. If he doesn't extend that elbow, that's gonna be a good play for Phillips. Number 1, Schulte comes in for Cardinals. And they're going to get Phillips on another foul. Number 20, that's his second. And number 4, Marion Barnes and Ray Flora will check in for Valley Center. Isaacs and the Hornets putting on light pressure and dribbling it all the way down and taking a fadeaway jumper was number 2, Alloway. Pons with the rebound, gets it up to Isaacs. Isaacs makes a great move inside. The spinning circus layup from Isaacs that we saw multiple times last year. He's picking up where he left off. Schulte down inside, reverse layup, gets that one to go. So a bucket for a bucket right there from each team.
And when you have 2 guys in the paint against you on the offense, you're going to have to find ways to be quick, make quick moves, and outspeed the big guys in the paint. And Conway Springs has certainly done that. They don't have the height advantage, but they certainly have the speed advantage as they've been able to get around Gray and Dessenberger a couple times now.
You know, one thing that always hurts the team is turnovers, and the Hornets making a couple of silly mistakes early going. Yes, this is the first game of the year, so you got to give them a little bit of slack, but still, and a crazy shot right there. Ball goes over the top. It'll be a foul called on Braden Gray, but credit to Conway Springs, number 42, Wright, as he somehow got that to go in, but it didn't count. He'll be at the free throw line shooting 2. His first was way off, and here comes his second. Breaks his second, and a rebound by Alloway. You can hear Coach Arnrau saying, work, get a stop. This Hornets defense needs to get a stop, but they couldn't right there, as that's Alloway, who just made another bucket, adding to his resume so far in this first half. He has 9 points. Byrne for 3 again. Jacob Byrne has 9 himself with 3 threes on the night. And that'll be a timeout called by Valley Center. We'll be back in a minute. Hornets keeping their pressure on Conway Springs. And that's Alloway bringing it down. Looks like he shot almost got blocked. And there's a scary fall right there by number 42, Wright, but he seems like he's okay, and the Hornets bring the ball down. Byrne inside, dribbled, gets the ball stolen by Billups. Schulte inside, he'll be fouled and count the bucket. 43.6 seconds left. Schulte going to the line, trying to make this a one-possession game. 33 Josh Dessenberger and 2 Eli Isaacs checking in. Dessenberger off the gets the rebound to Isaacs. Byrne gets the ball stolen out of his hands. Great defense from Alloway right there. And 30 seconds to go. Cardinals may try to hold it for the last shot to gain the momentum heading into halftime, but Alloway is going to take it in. No good on the shot. Billups out for 3. No good. Hornets can't get a box out, and the Cardinals have a lot of extra opportunities. 5 seconds to go. It looks like they're going to get the last shot. No good. Isaac's going to chuck it, and that'll be the end of the first half. 26-22 our score. A lot of good things from the Hornets team defensively, and in the first quarter they couldn't really hit shots. Stay tuned for an exciting second half right here on Hornet Studios. charges on defense. The defense this year for the Hornets is going to be their is number 2, Eli Isaacs. An area of weakness last year for Gray was inside. Ray Flora for 3.
Can find right there, and it really showed it. It was an easy pass from Phillips to Flora, and then Flora just grabbed that 3. Dessenberger just spreading out that center can prevent that post help on the defense.
Byrne, good for 3.
And second shot is up, it's through.
Pons to Byrne, and Byrne hit. That's Flora who tried to get it into Dessenberger. He'll go up with it. No good on his first. Good ball movement by the Hornets inside. Dessenberger gets
Flora with his first. Shot it. And Flora's second is good, putting up it
out of the way. Pons with the rebound, gets it up to Isaacs. Isaacs makes a great move. Adding to his resume so far in this first half. He has 9 points. Byrne for 3 again. Jacob Byrne has 9.
Hi, folks, and welcome back here to Hornet Studios. I'm Caleb Rose, and you're watching Thursday night tournament basketball live here on YouTube. And we're about 45 seconds away here from the start of the third quarter. 26-22 is your score. And the Hornets lead a pretty good game they've played so far, and some great highlights that we've seen. Really good performance from guys like Mason Burns has had a pretty good game. Jacob Byrne as well. And then we've seen Eli Isaacs, who's forced a couple steals. Marion Pons, who's grabbing boards left and right. And we're just about not too far away from the start of the second half. What have you seen so far, Austin?
You know, I really like the intensity. We've talked about it. Underdog's talked about it to us this year. Is the intensity that this team needs to bring day in and day out. Practice, games. You know, they're doing it tonight. There's been a little bit of sloppy play as they've tried to push the ball a little bit too fast. But, you know, a lot of times when Pons will get a rebound or something, there'll be an outlet pass and the ball will be down the court before I can even speak on it. So that's good to see for the Hornets. So they're going to get this ball started inside as Pons. Crafty move inside. Pons scores his first point of the night.
And one of the biggest things in just about every sport is setting your tone early. If the Hornets can set a tone early, their own pace, set their own fast pace and strong defensive play, then they can dominate the second half of this game.
That was Conway Springs who made a layup. Byrne for 3. Again, Jacob Byrne. That's his game right there, is get a pass, catch and shoot, and he's able to do that with perfection. Inside. Outside to Byrne. Another 3. Catching heat is Jacob Byrne. I said it in the first half. He has 5 threes on the night, and if he can start catching fire from long range, there's no one that's going to be able to stop him. Phillips had a quiet first half offensively, but did a lot of good things. Byrne missed that 3, and there was a foul called underneath. Foul called on number 23, Braden Gray. He was trying to find position underneath. Checking in is number 33, Josh Dessenberger, not losing any height with him checking into the game.
And this should tell you everything you need to know about Jacob Byrne. The other day, he was messing around in practice and made 26 three-pointers in a row. That's just insane, especially at the high school level. And he's an incredible three-point shooter. Looked like Marion Pons got tripped up there, must have slipped. Or limping just a little bit, but appears to be fine. And like I said in the first half, there are a couple plays that are set up specifically to open up Jacob Byrne, to get him 3-point shots. He did it last year, and he's doing it again this year. He will be a dominant from the 3-point arc.
It's going to be out of bounds, and looks like Gabe Phillips has a little wardrobe malfunction, but it'll be Cardinal ball, and Isaacs with the steal. Isaacs going to lay it up with the left hand, can't get it to go. Dessenberger batting it around, ball gets tipped around. It'll be a foul called on Josh Dessenberger as he tried to get the rebound multiple times. Checking in for the Hornets, number 3, Mason Burns. We talked about his intensity on defense right there. And a 3 off the mark. Pons skies high for the rebound. He'll push the ball up the floor fast. One thing to note about Pons is he is a lefty. And Gabe Phillips with the floater. Pons brought it down the court fast. Phillips with the connection to make the 2 points. You talked about setting the tone early. The Hornets had a 4-point lead heading into halftime. Now they've upped it to 12. Let's see if they can keep pushing the ball, playing at their own pace. Caleb, what do you got?
Well, I love the rebounding that Marion Pons brings to this floor. Every day in practice, it makes an impact, and it's clearly made an impact in this game. He's only 6'2", saying that like I'm any taller, but he plays in the post all the time, and his vertical makes him get up there with Braden Gray and Josh Dessenberger, and he may not have the height, but he definitely has the vertical. He is a really electric rebounder, and he's created so many opportunities for the Hornets. Not only that, but on the offensive side of the ball, he's so elusive, he's so quick, and he can drive just as well as anybody else on this team. He is very quick, and he can fake you out pretty easily. He's very elusive. We saw him on the football field do that quite a bit as he was the starting running back, and he definitely shows it on the basketball court as well. He's got a lot of skill, a lot of quickness, and a lot of speed, and if he can keep this up throughout the whole year, it's definitely going to be a huge impact for the Hornets.
Yeah, one thing to notice about Pons is it's a little minor detail in his game, but he gets the ball out of his hands so quick when he passes that ball, and it's such a powerful pass. And, you know, those outlet passes where he's getting the ball up the floor, it just creates more opportunities for his team. And that's kind of his play style right now on this varsity court is kind of a we over me mindset. That was a foul called on Braden Gray. That's his 3rd personal. So both the big guys are fouling a little bit in this early second half. First bucket is good. Good by number 40, Kuster. Here comes his second. That one rolls in. Hornets trying to run a play. One thing to notice is the Cardinals came out into a man defense in this second half. And Ray Flora with the crafty move to get inside puts the Hornets back up by 12. That's one thing Ray does a very good job of, is creating his own shots, creating his own layups inside.
One thing I love about this team offensively, you can play fundamental basketball but still not win basketball games. But there's things that this Hornets team do. They play fundamental basketball, but they also make moves that they don't teach you in fundamental basketball. They're making really incredible plays, really elusive plays that fundamental basketball doesn't teach you.
This is Kuster again, makes his first. Checking in is Josh Dessenberger and number 2, Eli Isaacs. And Kuster is 3 for 4 on the night. Pons, another rebound, another fast-pushing Hornet offense. Isaacs in the corner for 3. short. Pushing it down the floor are the Cardinals. One thing to note about this Hornets team is there's a lot of substitutions. There's 9 players that are playing, and they're getting about 30 seconds to a minute of rest, and then they come back in. And that's what you want when you have a high-intensity team. Last year, I believe there was like 10 players that got a lot of playing time, but they didn't play with the intensity that this year's team has. And what Unruh wanted last year is really what this team has come to embody this year. Pons got tripped up. Ball goes on the ground, and Cardinals come up with it. Inside, Pons tries to block that shot, but he got up there high enough to make Kuster change his shot. Isaacs, Dessenberger trying to work inside. Good ball movement from the Hornets. Pons inside, try to get it to Dessenberger. He couldn't handle it. And checking in for Valley Center will be number 20, Gabe Phillips, number 10, Jacob Byrne, and number 23, Braden Gray. That was Dessenberger, Flora, and Pons who went to the bench. So the big man, Wright, bringing it up the floor. He'll take it all the way down into his own territory. Good back cut right there, but blocked by Gray. He's a force inside. Outside, good ball movement from the Hornets. Inside to Gray. He'll make a move with his left hand. Doesn't get it to go. Rebounded by Wright. Big man no good on the shot. Still an 11-point ball game with 2:15 left in this third quarter. And a lot of pushing and shoving going down in the paint. That was number 22, Osner, excuse me. Hornets underneath their own basket. Isaacs to Gabe. Byrne. Another 3 on the night. And Jacob Byrne on fire from behind the arc tonight. 6 threes. And he gets a steal right there. He's going to push it up the floor. Slow it down. And they're going to set up the offense. Or Isaacs is inside. Gray, no good, as he couldn't power through the pressure. That's Schulte making a move on Isaacs. And Isaacs will block him. They're going to get a jump ball, not a foul on Isaacs. And checking in is Flora and Dessenberger as Gray and Isaacs head to the bench. Osner up top. Hornets playing great off-ball defense. Ball gets tipped around. That's Schulte in the corner. No good. Battle for the rebound. Osner travels as he tried to push away Dessenberger. Not the best idea for Osner right there, as number 11, Cade Wilson, checks in for the Hornets. He's a sophomore, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do for this Hornet squad.
Well, I talked about Pons and his rebounding ability, his quickness, his elusiveness, and I think Wilson kind of brings the same sort of thing to practice every day with him as well. He's very quick, he's very elusive. He's had quite a few games for the JV team that he's done really well, use that speed, use that quickness, and I'll be interested to see how it develops the next couple years because he has quite a lot of potential.
And Wilson with a great save. Pushing up the floor is Flora. Jacob Byrne, no good. On the three to end the third quarter. That'll be it. 27-43 our score. The Hornets put together a good resume in the third quarter. We talked about it. They need to be able to play 4 quarters of basketball. They've done 3 pretty good so far. Now they got to put a 4th quarter together to add to their resume. Want to get a good statement win for their first game of the year and the first game of this tournament that will be today and Friday and Saturday too. Hornets really want to get into that championship game on Saturday. Caleb, what's your take from this third quarter?
Well, I really like how this team is coming together. I feel like everybody understands their role on the court and everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. 7 different players have scored, and that's really big to see. We talked about that before the end of the first half, and they're doing a good job of spreading the floor. They're doing a good job of moving the ball around quite a bit, and that's good to see. They're also playing really good defense. They're breaking down when they need to. They're closing out well. They're playing help man like we've seen them do in the past pretty well as well. And there's not much you can do to stop a team when every single player can score, and every single player on this court right now for the Hornets can score. And we've been shown that they've most of them have scored, and that's really big to see. Is that they can spread the floor and every player can do what they need to.
Looks like there's a clock started way too early, and Hornets lost about 10 to 15 seconds. So they're going to restart this 4th quarter. Hornets trying to run a play, gets it to Pons. That high-low action inside. No good on the shot from Phillips. And Isaacs will be called for a foul. He was trying to do that pickpocket thing he does, and just got called for a foul right there. Didn't time it correctly. Ball inside. Kuzner no good on the shot. Dessenberger did a great job of just staying strong inside there. Isaacs will be fouled in the backcourt, and that's not a foul you want to make if you're Conway Springs, but if you're the Hornets, it turns out in your favor. And Pons lost it. Pons committed a turnover a couple times so far this game, then loses his man. And number 4, Turner, will hit that. Winter will hit that 3. Inside, Dessenberger and he'll be fouled. He'll be going to the line, shooting 2 for the Hornets as they try to extend their 13-point lead.
Dessenberger's first shot at the line is through. And Ray Flora checks in for Marion Pons. Second shot. It's up and through. So he's 2 for 2, and Braden Gray checks in for Dessenberger. So Conway Springs takes over here with 6:45 remaining.
Conway Springs moved the ball well, but the Hornets defense stays strong. Isaacs with the steal. He's going to pass, but the pass gets deflected out of bounds. Hit a cheerleader. It'll be Hornets ball underneath their own basket. Isaacs finds Flora. Flora gonna fight for the ball, and he will be fouled. Conway Springs trying to play some aggressive ball, but they committed a foul on Flora. It's the 4th team foul that Conway Springs has committed in this second half. Dangerous pass, but Isaacs kept it. Great defensive pressure from Conway Springs right now. The Hornets have to be able to control it, and that'll be a foul. Foul called on number 20, Gabe Phillips. And just like we talked about in the women's game, is the Hornets have to learn to go towards the pass, go towards their pass, and not expect the pass to come to them, because there's always defenders like that can go steal the ball. That's Pons who checks back in for Valley. Inside, they're going to get Gray on a foul. He's looking around like he didn't deserve that one, I guess. But they're going to get him, and it'll be Kuster at the line shooting 2.
And Braden Gray clearly looking pretty annoyed with that call, and there's been a couple of calls that he hasn't been happy with, and rightfully so. He's got 4 fouls, so he'll check out. In his place is Josh Dessenberger. First shot is up and through by Kuster. Second one is up and through as well. 45-32 your score. Hornets take over.
Hornets trying to hold on to a double-digit lead. And Pons will be fouled as number 4, Winter, will invade his area. We're going to get a full new set of Cardinals. And the Hornets will have their ball, the ball, underneath their own basket. Isaacs in the corner for 3, off the mark, rebounded by Pons. Tries to get it to Dessenberger, and Gabe Phillips will finish for the Hornets.
And Phillips all season, he's one of the most sure-handed finishers on the team. If you want the ball to go in the net inside the paint, get it to him, and he'll do the job. He did it there. And a good basket there by number 22, Zach Osner. And his first points of the game. He'll get an and one opportunity here. Foul is on Dessenberger. And he'll convert on the three-point play. It's your score, 47-35.
So Phillips up top, setting up the offense. Byrne, who had the hot hand earlier, gets it to Phillips, and 49-35 our score. Hornets want to keep putting on the pressure, want to get this big statement win to start this season. They're going to get Isaacs for a foul. He knew when he went for that ball that he was going to get called for a foul. That's only his second personal, though, not some foul trouble for Isaacs, for how aggressive he really is. First free throw is up and good by Robinson. He'll get another one. Short and tipped around off the hands of Jonathan Wright. It'll be Hornet ball. Isaacs, dangerous pass inside. Byrne, another three, no good. And it'll be a push underneath. Fighting for the rebound was Dessenberger and a Cardinal number 5, Robinson. Hornets trying to run that same play they have been all night, trying to get the inbound to Byrne. Byrne dribbles it off his foot. Jump ball, possession arrow, goes for the Cardinals. Pons with good defense. That's Billups, a jumper, no good. Pons, another rebound. Can't count how many rebounds he's had tonight, but that's definitely been a difference maker for the Hornets, is not allowing second chance points, because Pons does a great job on the inside. That's Phillips who turned the ball over right there. They're going to call him for a carry. And 22, Flora checks back in for Valley Center. Byrne with the good hands on the defense. And Pons got it to Isaacs. Running the floor are the Hornets. Byrne gets pushed out of bounds by 22, Osner. He'll be going to the line shooting a 1-and-1. Phillips checks in for Isaacs, a whole new crew of Cardinals.
And for the Hornets, number 22, Flora.
Byrne makes his first. Not only is Byrne a good three-point shooter, he's very consistent from the free throw line, as he knocks down both. 51-36 our score. And Jacob Byrne with 3:23 left, still adding to his resume of 20 points on the night. He'll go to the bench for now. Expect him to come back in a little bit. That's Dessenberger playing great defense. Out for three. That's number 4, Winter. So the Hornets have to keep up the pressure, and they're only up 12 with 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes is a lot of time in basketball. Hornets got to keep up the pressure defensively. and offensively. Byrne checking back in right here for the Hornets. Expect to see them to try to set something up for him. I mean, he's been the hot hand all night. I wouldn't expect for them to go to anything different. Caleb, what do you got?
Yeah, like you said, just go to the consistent guy. You said 20 points, and if you got a guy who's hot, give it to him every time, and he'll consistently make shots. And I like how the Hornets are starting off this season strong. They're going to keep up this win, and they're going to win by the most points they can to start off their season right. Eli Isaacs will head down the court and set up their offense. Under 3 minutes here, and the Hornets up by 12. Isaacs struggling high in around the arc. Across the court pass. He struggles, gets it off to Phillips again. Looking for Dessenberger in the paint. Finds Pons instead. And gap pass there. Ruled in favor of the Hornets. It's number 21. That's Joshua Kuster trying to throw it off of Phillips, but didn't work. Isaacs to inbound. Quick pass into Pons. And he'll put it up. Doesn't make the shot, but he's fouled in the process. And so he'll go to the line and shoot two. First shot is up and through. And Pons, we've only seen him take 2 shots so far tonight, but he's made much more an impact than points show. And the second one is no good. Conway springs off to the races.
Inside, block shot by Isaacs. Pushing the floor are the Hornets. And Pons will save it, but it'll go into the hands of Winter. 2:15 left. And the Hornets aren't letting anything go past them defensively. You know, maybe start to get the offense rolling right here. Can't let up, because this is a tournament, things could come down to point differential to get into the championship game. So this is one of those times where the Hornets needs to run the offense, but doesn't want to just, give up. And the Hornets are stalling, so who knows if that'll come back to bite them in the butt, but they're going to, the ball will go out of bounds, and Ray Flora will check in for the Hornets.
Really surprised Isaacs didn't check out there, and noticed him holding his hip quite a bit on that play, and not sure the reason, but he was clearly in quite a bit of pain there.
I just heard Unrow say, take a layup. That's all they want, is to get a layup at this point in the game. That's number 5, Braden Dalrymple, checking in for Pons. Pons will go to the bench. That'll likely be the last time we see him tonight, as his first varsity start went pretty well. He didn't have very many points, but, he did all the dirty work for the Hornets, grabbing a abundance of rebounds and playing great defense, getting a couple of steals. Just an all-around good game from Pons. Hornets moving the ball around, trying to stall. Minute 15 left. They have a 13-point lead. No shot clock in high school basketball, so they can do this all night if they wanted.
I know this is a drill that the Hornets practice all the time, getting passes off under pressure, and they do a drill. Every pass they get off on tight defense is a point, and then the first team to, I believe it is 50 points that they get is the winner, and they practice this quite a bit. So they're pretty experienced in this type of situation.
Ball gets stolen by 21 Kuzner. He will go, and that'll be a foul call on Ray Flores. It looked like his feet were set, but the ref saw something different. And another argument we could have had there is Kuster may have been out of control, but they're not going to get that. And for this first free throw, Kuster First one up and good. So checking in for the Hornets, as we saw a little bit of him earlier, number 11, Cade Wilson. He's a sophomore. And then number 32, Noah Simmons checks in for the Hornets. He's also a sophomore. Got a lot of potential. And then Mason Burns going to check in for the final time tonight.
And Noah Simmons is really a great post player at 6'7" as a sophomore. He has a lot of potential and two great leaders ahead of him in Josh Dessenberger and Braden Gray. He's got a season to develop this year, and he, like you said, he has a lot of potential. He's got a lot of great post moves stored up and knows how to score in the paint. He can score from just about any position, and Gray has the size on him, but in practice he sure dominates in the post. And definitely a lot of potential here from Simmons. We'll see how he does in his first varsity start as the Hornets likely just hold it out here and try to get the win. They'll do just that, passing between Wilson, Flora, and Burns. 25 seconds here. And taking their happy time. Another player as well, Braden Dalrymple, just checked in. We've seen a lot of him from the JV team and plays forward. A lot of time plays on the wing, and quite the three-point shooter from the corner, that's for sure. He can knock those down pretty well. And time will expire. Your final score, 52-41. The Hornets come home with an 11-point victory. A great way to start off this season. And Austin, what did you think of tonight's game as the Hornets come out with a good win?
Well, what I liked a lot was they played 4 quarters of basketball. They did a great job in the first half to keep the game, going, rolling. Even though they weren't hitting shots, they were playing good defense. And then the third quarter, shots started to fall, and things started to click offensively. Jacob Byrne, 6 or 7 threes on the night. He's going to have a big season for the Hornets this year offensively, and he had some good defensive plays. All around good night for the Hornets. Offensively could hit more shots in the first early going, I guess. But other than that, I really like what I see. This is going to be an exciting team to call games for this year.
Definitely. That's going to be all for tonight. I'm Caleb Rose, joined alongside by Austin Koash. And thanks so much for tuning in. Your Hornets take home the 52-41 victory. That's all from Hornets Studios, and have a great night.